Let's do this. Let's jump to this conspiracy theory.
All right, let's do it.
Sure. This is
back like the good old days, Tim. Remember those?
Yes.
Those days. This is what we used to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, good days.
Timfo Wars.
You ready?
So this, a lot of people
wait,
have been hitting me up for this.
Wait.
You ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yes.
Throughout the night over the past 2 weeks, explosions have rocked major cities in the United States, leaving residents scared, terrified that the CIA has been leaving caches of explosive devices for ruffian children to detonate.
Dun,
Now,
dun,
why?
dun.
Is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
Actually, yes, that's what they're saying.
I did a tweet earlier. I was just like, I'm seeing too much of this. Like, who's hearing this? Is this going on? Over 200 responses, and all of them are just like, yeah, fireworks from the city late into the night. And I'm like, doesn't that always usually happen near the end of June anyway?
Yeah.
No.
Leading up to July 4th?
No. This is weird.
Oh, okay.
But I think I think I know what's going on.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
For those that are familiar with the actual story, across the country, there have been massive complaints about fireworks in every major city, every single one, even some smaller towns. From around like 8 till like 2 in the morning, it's just a constant fireworks and explosions going off. I saw people tweeting about this, and there's crazy conspiracy theories. First, take a look at this. In 2019, there were 27 fireworks complaints between June 1st and 19th.
Well, it's consistent.
6,385.
Wow.
So naturally,
that's a pretty big spike.
I can tell you exactly. And so look, it's really, look at this. It's really started,
my goodness,
to pick up around the 10th.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, they said there was 27 in 2019. So we had 17 on the 4th. Then we had 11, 34, and it really started to pick up. Now it's going crazy, right? Now we've got 1,689 as of the 19th.
I mean, are they just simple noise complaints or
fireworks?
Yeah, but I've seen videos from Chicago of shootouts that sound like firecrackers, fireworks.
That's what I was thinking.
No,
yeah,
but no,
that's not fireworks. But those are gunshots.
But people can see the fireworks. Like, you can watch videos of it.
It's legitimate fireworks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
Throwing them at each other.
All right.
The solution is the reason for this is so incredibly obvious, man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I can't believe these people are actually trying to argue what they're trying to argue. The reality is, the CIA is obviously planting fireworks in these neighborhoods to destabilize the Black Lives Matter movement by forcing people to endure sleep deprivation. That way they can't properly organize and are constantly under stress. And that way when they bring in the real tanks, everyone will be too scared and they won't know whether it's real fireworks or guns.
I think you're supposed to do that in the Alex Jones voice.
People listen.
Yeah, there you go.
The CIA and the government. So they that's the conspiracy theory.
This
I'm kidding.
is the simplest explanation, Tim. Is
no,
correct.
I'll give you the real explanation.
No, you told me this earlier.
All right.
I agree with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, why are there fireworks going crazy? Here's my theory. You see, beginning of this month, there were nationwide riots. You may have seen that in the news.
If you'll recall.
If you recall, maybe you were paying attention.
Pretty much the whole month of June.
You may have also seen that trucks were being stopped and raided, and people were looting buildings and stealing things.
What does that have to do with
What
this?
time of the year do people buy fireworks for the 4th of July?
I believe it's now, Tim.
Yes, it's the couple of weeks leading up to the 4th of July. They don't go out on July 3rd and buy all their fireworks at once.
I mean, we did, but
Those
yeah.
people exist. True.
The month before, they start going out and buying fireworks.
Yep.
But Tim, you say, if that was the contributing factor to why these complaints are happening, why not the previous years? Because the previous years didn't see mass looting from people raiding trucks. So here's what I think happened. A bunch of people started jumping in trucks, stealing boxes, and then found themselves in particular areas with a ton of explosives, commercial grade, and said, what do we do with these? Sell them on the cheap to local kids.
Yep.
And now you are seeing, following the end of the riots, lo and behold, a massive increase in fireworks, going off.
Yep.
That seems to be the most logical explanation.
I'm seeing videos of people in New York playing like firework wars.
Shooting at each other.
Crazy.
Now I'm not gonna lie,
Looks
I've
like
done
fun.
it. I've done it
With Roman candles?
It's fun. It's fun. Don't try this at home, people.
Blow your
No,
hand
it's not
off.
fun. Stop.
But
Dude, a kid in my neighborhood blew his hand off.
I hear stories about
It happens
that.
all the time.
Yeah.
He thought it was like a quarter stick of dynamite. He thought it was a Roman candle.
Oh no.
So he lit it and went like this, boom, and his hand just got blown clean off.
Man, that's sad.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Yep. It was crazy. The blood splatter everywhere, man.
Oh, that's nice.
Don't mess around with this stuff, man.
Yeah,
It's not worth it.
true.
You keep
don't
your
wanna-
keep your fingers.
Yeah, you got to be smart.
Yeah. But that's what I think. We quite literally have. There was this woman from. Look at this is crazy, dude. Look how long this thread is. this dude's conspiracy
Getting
theory.
those likes and tweets.
Check this out.
That is a
Look
lot
at
of
this.
likes.
He says,
Yeah.
"Fam, does this gear in these photos look similar to you?" He then shows what appears to be a random photo of a bunch of firefighters and their babies.
Aw.
Wasn't it Father's Day yesterday?
And then he shows.
Oh,
He shows-
Gosh,
I got a
see,
cat.
see, this is what he
Look at
does.
this.
You treat him with those. You
He's so
spoil
cute.
you spoil him. Now he wants a piece of that pie. Oh, he's looking for the trees.
He's looking for the cookies.
Look how
Check it
cute
out. But go back
he
to the display.
is.
Go back to the. Go back to
There's a
the.
cat.
No, there's a cat.
Producer rebels.
All right, check it out. He says in this tweet, "Doesn't this gear look in these photos look similar to you? In this photo, somebody is selling a bunch of fireworks, right? What's this strap right here?
That's a backpack.
That's a backpack,
Exactly.
Timothy.
That's a backpack.
It's a backpack. And so look what he does. He then shows this, where you've got firefighters with suspenders.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's-
dude,
They do have
What?
suspenders.
That's not the same at all.
It's not the same. Not at
this
all.
is the nature of conspiracy insanity.
It's
Wow.
This dude is
Yeah.
listen,
All
man.
right, that's bad.
Look how crazy this is. This was tweeted out by the woman who wrote the 1619 Project,
Dude,
Oh my goodness.
the New York Times
this
writer.
is exactly what I would expect from her.
They show this video for the folks who didn't see. It's apparently some firefighters had a fountain firework. You know what
Yeah.
those are? Where it
Yeah.
just goes like,
Yeah.
and he claims that's proof the government is doing it.
What?
He says the FDNY got caught letting off illegal fireworks. It's like, bro, there's a big difference between our, commercial grade mortar shell explosions
Right.
and a little, fountain firework.
Yeah, that's probably the peak there too. It's finishing
Look at
up.
this. My neighbors and I believe this is part of a coordinated attack on black and brown communities by government forces, an attack meant to disorient and destabilize the Black Lives Matter movement. And I think this is
How?
called paranoid
It's
delusional.
hitting up everybody. Everyone that lives around there is getting hit.
Yep.
It's like, I don't get it.
Dude.
That's a stretch.
Reporting from
stretch.
Brooklyn, there was yet another night of extremely loud fireworks. These people have lost the plot, man.
I agree.
They're completely out of it. What do we have here? We got
They're making life more interesting.
some things about these fireworks. LAPD is telling people that email about the fireworks, their ability to deal with them has been postponed due to the protests. They're trying to get people angry at the protesters about this. See, there's always some kind of conspiracy.
Yeah.
They're trying to, what he's claiming in this? He's claiming that the NYPD is pulling a Chancellor Sutler.
That's what I said last week.
That's right. If you guys have seen V for Vendetta, right?
I'm sure.
This
majority
guy
of
is
people-
claiming that the police had a meeting. He doesn't literally say this, but he's insinuating this is what happened. That the chief of police goes to all these cops and says, I want fireworks on every street corner. I want explosions in the middle of the night. I want these people to remember why they need us.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
good.
tried.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
pretty good. Yeah.
That's what he's alleging is going on. The NYPD has dropped caches of fireworks for young people to find, to blow up in the middle of the night, to shock people and scare them into realizing they need
But
the police.
only black and brown people.
Yes.
Sorry,
of course.
I already
Yeah.
called you out on it, Democrats. You're the ones that are basically, well, they don't have a Chancellor Sutler, but that's what it feels like. They're like, COVID-19, you need
Dude.
us. You need authoritarianism. And then all the riots, like
You need
police state.
Check it,
I
check
don't
it.
even understand what
Wait,
they're
wait.
doing anymore.
I tweeted this clip out.
Yeah.
All right, so go to twitter.com/Timcast. Look at this clip I tweeted. It's from V for Vendetta, and I'll tell you what the craziest thing is.
I didn't even notice this at first.
Chancellor Sutler is like the bad guy, right? He's like the fascist dictator. And he tells them what they want, what they need to do. He's like, I want story-to-story coverage. I want people to be scared, so I want them reminded why they need us. He wants people to be scared and begging for the government's safety. And then the first thing they show is a TV screen that says America's Second Civil War.
Still going.
Yeah, and she's like, the Civil War in America rages on,
Oh, I
causing
remember
turmoil
that,
in the middle
yeah.
in the Midwest. And I was like, whoa,
We were watching it, and I was like, "Holy cow! What?"
it's a sign.
Okay.
They're predicting the Second Civil War. But there's actually some other stuff in this that's really amazing. They then show, I think it's someone saying a new pandemic, and then the
Yep.
guy, it shows a guy in a bar, and he goes, "Do you believe this?"
Yes.
And I was like, "No!"
I was like, "This is
What?
literally happening.
Are we in a movie?"
What is going on?"
So I've been saying it.
Yeah, you're
This
right.
is what it feels like.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have you seen this meme?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Have you seen this meme?
What meme?
Go on Google, type in any 3-digit number beginning
Oh,
with the
yeah.
number 1, and then followed by new cases.
No, it doesn't have to have a 1 in it. It could be any 3
No,
numbers.
it has to begin with the number 1.
No, I tried all 3. I didn't know that rule, and I was doing all different combinations
There's
of 3
no
numbers.
there's nothing for 0, 1, 2.
Oh, I did
Oh,
do
starting with 0.
zero.
Yeah.
It has to start with the number 1.
Or 2.
No. Oh, I
Or
mean
s-
at least
or four.
right. You're right.
Anything greater
any
than one.
any number greater than one.
Yeah.
So I saw a really funny point. Someone said, "I'm a programmer, so I tried 001 and it didn't work."
Well, no
I'm like,
kidding.
that's a good point. We get it. You're a programmer. You think outside the box. But if you take any number from 100 up to 999, you will find every single number comes up.
Yep, every single one. I tried for a little while. I was like, I can't believe this is working.
So I tried 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, and you put 101 new cases. Boom. I tried 999. Boom. I tried 666. Boom.
Whoa.
232, 237, 349. Boom, 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 boom. They all come up.
I did this random one. It was like 8-3. I forget the combo, and it was like the angel number, and I was like, wait, what is this?
What?
Yeah, it was weird.
That's really weird.
It was like COVID, the angel number, and I'm like,
So first,
Interesting.
anyway,
I'm not
random
here.
thought.
I'm not
Numerology.
alleging any conspiracy craziness with this meme or whatever it is.
You think COVID's real still?
I think it's certainly. I think people panicked for sure.
Okay.
I think they went nuts and they were like screeching and freaking out for sure.
Okay.
But there is a simple explanation for it. You'll notice a lot of these places are in foreign countries. When you type in like 371, it might say like
Ukraine showed up, but there was
Right.
also different states.
for sure.
Always a different
Different
little
times.
small town.
So I think the real issue here is that when you factor in the entire planet was hit by this pandemic for the most part,
Yeah.
Google search is going to find you any story.
Odds are good.
Yeah, the odds are good.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're talking about only 1,000 different numbers out of 3 months of every city and every country in the world. So it is interesting. But while I don't think it's a grand conspiracy because no one's coordinating every single website to produce numbers like this,
Right.
it just reminded me of that scene where the guy's like, he no longer believes it. He's in the bar and he looks at the press and he's like, do you believe this bollocks?
Actually, he says, "Are you effing serious?"
Is that what he says?
Or do you effing believe it? There's a swear in there.
Yeah.
But it
there's
reminds me of
I
all
want
the
to
people.
be accurate, all right?
Yeah.
Trying to be factual.
the B word.
It
counts
reminds
in
me of
Britain.
all the people who are saying, I don't believe this anymore.
Right.
I just don't believe it.
Yeah, I felt like we were in a movie when I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's us. This is happening.
So is it the apocalypse? Or are we being tricked by the fascists who are trying to remind us why we need them?
I don't know, man.
So is that the idea that like they're trying to make everything crazy so that we long for the days before Trump?
Maybe. The normalcy that Joe Biden brings
The sweet, sweet sound of Joe Biden
creeping
whispering
up behind you.
and whispering in your ears?
Yep.
Whispering sweet, sweet, the thing.
Nothing's
It's like
Sweet
I want
things.
factories to come back here.
sweet things.
I don't want China to make our medicine. Like we are, like, in their shadow right now. They make everything for us, and it's like, what happened to the days of American made being like the quality product? Like those
Instead
days
of the
don't
garbage product.
yeah, those days don't exist anymore. It's like why can't we bring that back? Let's make quality stuff. Let's appreciate quality over throw away everything, which is what we live in, the environment, the society that we live in. It's like, just toss this, whatever, I'll just get a new one. Or get something really quality, something really nice that lasts for a long time that you can fix. Bring the factories back. Let's it's basically just ruining the profits of the corporations. It's like, boo-hoo, sorry corporations. They're the ones who probably hate Trump the most.
It's a weird extraction of resources. You end up with big corporations that get us Americans to pay Chinese labor, which stays in China.
Yeah.
And then that money goes to the bigwigs, and that creates extreme wealth disparity.
Here in America.
And this is the craziest thing, that you have the left arguing that wealth disparity is bad and that Trump is bad. And it's like, but you realize if Trump brings those jobs back,
Right.
it will normalize, it'll bring the middle class back.
Exactly.
So it'll actually make a lot of things more expensive for us here in America.
Which will make you appreciate the item more. People spend $1,000 on their phone, and they cherish their phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you realize.
Well, they break their screens all the time too.
Okay, well, whatever. You get my point, though.
Right.
It's like, people spend the things they spend a lot of money on is the thing they're like, oh, I'm gonna cherish this.
Yep.
But everything else is throw away everything, and it's
Like bridges
everything.
or their toilets.
Yeah, you think about that, and
Yeah.
they're like, whatever. But you can go buy a new toilet for $100.
Imagine,
like whatever.
Imagine if it was $5 to flush your toilet.
Whoa.
People
you think
would
about
probably
that a lot.
poop a lot less.
They'd be like, I'm gonna hold it in until the very last minute,
that would
and
that's-
just have one big detonation. But because it's free, they don't care. Dude, look.
Bowel movements
listen,
are
man.
funny. I'm a little kid.
I'm telling you, there will come a time in the future where like you're gonna be an old man
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have like a little kid and he's gonna be like, Grandpa Adam, can you tell me about how you used to flush fresh water down the toilet? And you're gonna go, we used to flush it down the toilet. Now it's $50 a gallon.
Yeah.
That's what the future's gonna be like.
Fresh water. It's going to be the war of the future.
Priceless, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need water for your cities to operate.
Yep.
And people don't realize that fresh water is.
You turn the sink on for fresh water. Like,
glorious.
How did
Where does
Rome?
that come from?
How did the Rome Empire spread? Because they had roads.
They had aqueducts.
And
Yeah.
aqueducts.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
mostly roads, but it was like they had aqueducts. Why their cities worked.
Yep.
They had
Sewer
society.
systems, yeah.
So if you don't want these things, go live in the middle of the woods. See how long you last.
Nah, these privileged people go to the city like they're in Chaz and they
Yeah.
still have flushable toilets.
I know exactly.
Turn off the toilet, see how long they last.
Well, no, they have. Didn't they have like a
Porta
long
potties.
line of porta potties?
Yeah.
Well, in Chicago, they were pooping in a tent. And I don't mean in a bucket in a
Gross.
tent. I mean they literally were
It was-
pooping
it
in a
was
They're
tent.
like, this
The
is the
poop deck.
tent.
Yeah.
The poop deck.
You know what? Dude,
Gross.
listen. This is serious. You need to listen to me right now.
Oh
Okay.
man,
They proposed humanure in Chaz.
that's
Yeah.
that doesn't work if you.
Someone responded with, "It doesn't work because human waste is too acidic."
Yeah. There's actually there's certain diets. If you are 100% perfect on your diet, I believe it's like 100% plant based. No,
Right.
no,
Eating
nothing.
grass.
Yeah, basically. Like, I mean, I'm not even that far. My poop's probably not good for manure, but it's not good. You can't use it.
They were proposing.
It worked for
Taking dumps
Matt
in the
Damon on Mars, though.
Yeah, that
So
makes
we got to
sense.
learn something.
Well,
He
so-
made potatoes grow.
The idea
It
was
may be a movie. I'm
in-
not sure.
in the Chaz. Could you imagine this? In a park in Seattle, in a
Starts-
major city,
Spreading poop all
a
over.
bunch of left-wing activists all are squatting in a field, taking dumps just out in the open.
Do you think
onto
they would
their gardens?
Do you think they would segregate the poop
Oh.
just
It
to
would- well,
maintain like this is white poop that
No, no,
goes
no,
to
no.
the white garden?
Hold on, no.
Whoa.
They would expect the racial people in their own gardens to poop. So yes, the poop would be segregated.
Segregated poop. All right.
I wonder.
This is the world we're living in now.
Could you imagine if they like accidentally discovered a racial disparity in the manure value of human waste?
Oh my gosh.
Like by accidentally segregating the races, we've determined that Latinos, in fact, have the most potent fertilizer poop. They just accidental like, nobody knew. How did that happen? And they do a bunch of controls. No, but they wanted to poop in fields, and that's the crazy thing is they don't understand. None of the you know what's crazy to me?
None of them understand.
Let's say 1,000 years ago, 400 years ago, you think most people had seen a dead body
No. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
today?
I have.
I mean, in real life.
You were a fancy doctor.
Yeah,
so
you
I'd
worked
say
at a hospital.
Sure, I did.
That doesn't.
Saw a lot of dead people.
So I mean, the answer to yes for that in people who work in hospital is gonna skyrocket.
Yeah, that's fair.
But in regular non-hospital world, how many
Soldiers.
people actually saw?
Soldiers, EMTs,
Okay.
firefighters.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
those are not the majority of people.
We're talking about the majority of
I'm
people
talking
here.
about-
Lydia.
Normies.
10-year-old
Alright,
kid.
I didn't want to say normies because that feels awfully derogatory, but
10-year-old
fair.
kid in the year like 16 something
yeah.
in the colonies walking down, and there's like old man Jenkins just flumped over, dead and bloated,
Yep.
and it's like people die all the
Well,
time.
Oh, Mr. Jenkins.
Dead babies too, you know.
And he owed me a nickel.
Yep.
Man.
Today, people do, but I think the overwhelming majority of these privileged people like Chaz they probably never even seen anybody get a boo boo, you know.
Well, they have now.
Well, now they have. They put
Some of them.
tourniquets on
Oh,
them.
that's right. Yeah. People are
Yeah.
getting shot.
My skateboard did more damage to
Right,
my ankle than that guy.
seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. So Adam was skating, and he keeps hitting the same spot on his ankle,
It's that tray
ripping
foot,
it
man.
open,
It's a tray foot.
and blood is pouring out all over his shoe and sock. And I'm like, dude, wrap it up.
What did I do though?
You just kept skating.
But I landed it.
Yeah,
I was like, no, I gotta land this trick.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like,
I landed
you
it.
gotta take a picture of it, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
But what's funny is there was more blood there than when the guy in the Chaz got hit with a foam bullet, and it gave him an abrasion, and so he's like crying, and they're putting a tourniquet on his leg,
Yeah.
and he's
They
like,
have
I
no
don't want to
idea.
lose my leg, and they were like, we gotta stop the bleeding. It's like, no, you don't. It was like, dude, it was a minor abrasion, like
Right.
crazy. You were bleeding like crazy. Your sock is soaked in blood, and you were
Yeah.
fine. You just washed it off.
It was really bad actually. When I took the shoe off, it was like the whole ankle was
no.
drenched
the whole
in blood.
heel, yeah, it
dude,
was
you gotta wrap
pretty
that up, man.
Well, I cleaned it. I took care of my
But it's funny that like we'll go out skating, You'll whack your ankle and go, oh no, not again, and blood starts pouring out, and you keep skating.
Yeah.
The kids in the Chaz are like, I got an abrasion, quick tourniquet.
Call the
land there.
police.
Call the police. Put the gauze on it, quick.
Seriously, get the gauze.
Dude, man.
They're like, you're gonna be fine, dude. You're gonna be fine. Hang in there.
I think we were talking about this earlier. Just like, we really have a whole. This cat is going nuts.
I'm gonna go settle things.
It's your fault. You spoil him.
No, he's bored. The cat is.
No, they're fighting. I see
No,
him.
no. He's just slashing up the tissue paper.
Well, he just chased her out of the room.
Betsy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cats for you.
Yes, they're fighting.
What were we talking about?
What are we?
Totally.
What are we?
Oh yeah,
talking
the
about?
lost generation
LARPers.
of the lost generation of people who will never be able to survive on their own. I think it was funny because somebody mentioned,
Yeah.
like I was talking about how millennials can't survive. You put them in the middle of the woods and they'll have like a real panic attack.
Yeah, definitely.
And then somebody tweeted at me like Tim Pool thinks he could survive in the woods, LMAO. And I'm like, bro, I didn't say that.
It's like, where'd you get that information?
I didn't say like
Tim, that's that emotional trigger. That I'm emotionally triggered. I immediately have to degrade you and bring you down, and it doesn't even have to be relevant. I just need to attack you because
I'll tell you what.
attacked my emotional center.
I'll tell you one thing.
It happens all the time.
If you took me and one of these like Chaz SJWs and put them in the woods,
Okay.
there's a lot of circumstances in which I would be more likely to survive.
Because you'd eat them.
No.
Wait, what? Just kidding.
I was just gonna say like I would be more hardened and like not scared or panicky. I wouldn't be demanding. I'd be responsible. I would first try and figure out a shelter.
Well, I hear vegans are grass fed, so they taste better.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I was gonna say, these people have no idea. These people have no idea how to deal with animals, right?
That's true.
What do you do when you encounter a mountain lion? Do you know?
Man, I probably make yourself as big as possible and make a lot of noise.
Yes, that is correct. There was a recent thread where like some cops said slowly back away, and that's a mistake. You need to make them feel like they're going to get into a fight and they don't want to.
Right.
Now, what do you do when you encounter a black bear? Run faster than the scrawny Chaz person.
Yeah.
And that's where I'd live. I'd be like darting, and they'd be like, "Wait!" And I'll be like, "You're bear food, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not sticking around."
No way.
So
those things can climb fast.
You
can't climb up a tree. Those things will climb up if they want you.
Black bears, you have to fight. That's I could be wrong about this. Don't act like I'm not that what's his name, Bear Grylls, the urine drinking guy. I'm not him.
Yeah, guns aren't always even for hunting. There's this thing called self-defense. I don't know if you've heard of this, but there's animals that live in the world that will eat you.
These people, listen, they would see a mountain lion.
They'll eat you.
These people would see a mountain lion,
Yeah.
and they would scream and run.
Right.
And you know what happens when you do that with a mountain
prey.
lion? The mountain lion immediately charges you.
It's like, oh, prey, they're running.
Food. Yep.
Yeah.
So you look them in the eyes and you make yourself big and
Pick
go,
up a huge rock and just be like, "Bro, come on, let's do this."
air horns.
That's what I would do.
And
I'd
then-
rip my shirt off.
They don't.
I don't know.
Wave your
So-
shirt at him. Yeah.
Start waving it around in the air
Yeah.
like,
Actually, I think that would work. Yeah.
So check it out.
Woo,
How many of these people in the
regret nothing.
Chaz?
Sorry.
How many of these Chaz people do you think have ever heard the sound of a gunshot?
I don't know.
The John Brown Gun Club guys,
'Cause-
definitely.
I
Raz,
think
definitely.
about myself. It's like you would never have expected someone like me to have heard gunshots, and yet I've heard gunshots a lot in my life.
Chicago.
Chicago,
Yeah, it depends where they're
New
from.
York.
Yeah.
I will
Baltimore.
tell you this.
When we were in Baltimore at the riots, it's like I've been in situations where I've seen this stuff. It's like
These
you wouldn't
people-
expect that, but you think about them, and it's like, they're a bunch of SJWs. But you know what? I don't know. I don't think it's all true. There's definitely some hardened people over there.
But even the John Brown Gun Club people are like, they're definitely better than most of the far lefties who are like really scrawny, frail, eat poor diets, and are kind of messed up in the head.
Yeah.
Like at least they understand the basics of like using guns. And I'll admit, like I'm not. They're better than me at all that stuff for sure.
Yeah.
But I've actually watched videos of these guys, and they're still like, they nah.
LARPing.
Yeah, kind of.
Just playing the part.
Like the guy, like listen, you know why it is that they're more scared of right-wing terror than left-wing terror?
Why?
Because the left-wing terrorists who have tried are just pathetic.
Yeah.
Absolutely pathetic.
That's a good point.
The dude who went to the ICE facility,
Willem
Van Spronson, whatever,
Spronson,
was like, it's like this. I was gonna say something funny but really offensive. I'll stop saying it.
Good for you.
It's I really want to make the joke. I can't do it.
No, don't do it.
No, I can't. YouTube
Angel
might.
and devil.
I was just gonna say, there's.
He's very
I
special.
really want to say he's
No,
very.
no, I'm gonna take
Special?
it. There's, the cops took Chaz again. They went back to the precinct. They
took it back
marched,
over.
They marched through. No one did a thing. They walked right in. Walked into the precinct. There was people like, bah, bah.
They just walked in.
No, they walked in. They went back in, and now
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're still there. I don't know if they were checking out the scene, but videos were flying around that.
Look.
Yep, they retook it, and no one did a thing.
You have these like extremist. They call them far right. I don't necessarily know what that means because.
It's alt left.
No, I'm talking about like the church shootings in New Zealand, stuff like that.
Mm.
They say it's like everything's right wing or whatever. But anyway, they fear these people because they're effective. And I'm not. And this is horrifying about it. That when these lunatics decide to engage in some kind of terrorist activity, they succeed, and it's really scary.
It's a good point. It's a good
The
point.
Vance Bronson guy showed up, staggered like a moron, throwing firebombs randomly, and then he immediately got shot and killed.
Right.
Like he had no idea.
It's like an emotional attack versus like a logical attack.
They're
both attacks and are not.
It's an issue of capability.
Bad. Right.
The left, like Antifa, are pathetic, scrawny losers.
Okay.
Like, come on, man, watch the video of the Proud Boys versus Antifa when he winds the punch up and
Like
smacks
they're
him
not
in the
even
face.
the same.
Yeah, it's like watching Mike Tyson box a 3-year-old.
Yeah, seriously.
He walks up and he's like, "I'm gonna give you a good punch," and boom, and then the kid goes flying 20 feet out of the ring.
You see, he's training again.
Oh yeah,
Dude's a beast, man.
yeah, dude, for sure.
He's still a beast. I saw a video. His training video is like, I don't want to ever be even near your punch when he punches. It's like hammers, man.
But anyway, the point is, when you end up with whatever the right is, you have masculine, aggressive, tactful, strategic, and the further you go left, you get unhinged, whiny, and like not fairly well thought out at all.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
that's what we were talking about yesterday at the restaurant when we were talking about. I said it. I was like, this is basically what you get when it inverts into the unbalance between the matriarchy and the patriarchy, and
Right.
they're like, bring the patriarchy down. And now we have all these people that don't have dads. They don't have a father figure, and they're raised by their mothers, which is spinning it the other way, and so they're seeking approval by any means necessary. What it feels like you're about to add something.
No, you're
Yeah,
finished,
but you know what I'm saying. It's like, so we're seeing it. All these people that are out there, I'm making a huge assumption here that they don't have a solid father figure being like, no, that is not acceptable.
Discipline.
Instead of a mother where they wants to give you everything and be the mother figure, the traditional mother figure. I guess I'm saying.
You see that video of the black dude punches the Macy's employee? Have you seen that?
I have seen it. I don't know much about it yet,
So-
other
so-
than that one video.
This video goes viral,
messed up.
and this black dude walks up to a white dude, punches him in the face,
Mm-hmm.
and then they claimed that the white dude called him the N-word.
Right.
And it's funny, like as if that would justify an assault. The police should go and arrest these guys.
Right.
But in the video, the dude who's beating on the Macy's employee says, "Don't touch me. Don't touch me." And what does the Macy's employee say? "I'm sorry. I'm sorry," as he cowers on the ground and rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that man on the floor is truly pathetic. Now think about that dude raising kids.
Yeah.
And you can talk about a good father figure, someone who's strong, determined, disciplined, and can instill what is acceptable and unacceptable.
Yep.
That dude, I'm sorry, would be a terrible father. What would his kids be like? To cower on the ground,
I don't know.
saying "I'm sorry" over and over again as someone assaulted you for no reason. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's one of my favorite things about the ancient Egyptians. A lot of their texts showed that there's such beauty in the balance of the masculine and the feminine, and it's like we have no balance anymore. The society is all
feminine.
unbalanced.
It's all feminine.
No. It's on either side. That's what I'm seeing. You have to pick a side on every subject anyone brings up at all. There's either this side or this side, and if you're over here and they're over here, they hate you. You're cut off. I don't care. I don't want to even hear your argument or watch whatever proof you think you're going to bring up.
But I'm saying, like, in terms of masculine and feminine,
Okay.
our society is just all feminine. So masculine, we were talking about this earlier.
Well, I'm here proving otherwise, baby.
Masculine is the determination, the risk taking, the striving to be more, to be better.
Yeah.
and also to protect and build.
That's you, man.
And
You showed me that you need to have that drive to further yourself.
Right.
Right.
Femininity is protection,
Right.
mitigating risk, caring, healing.
Yes.
So what is our society right now? Risk is bad. Anything that could be harmful must be banned. It is all toxic femininity.
Exactly.
Masculinity is gone.
But they're trying to erase it completely.
It mostly is.
They're trying.
Just wait.
There are people that are fighting it. I am one of them.
Just wait until they announce NFL has to be gender diversified.
It's not going to fly.
I disagree.
Okay.
Look at the latest video games that have come out and how they force this culture on people whether they like it or not.
Last of Us 2,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah,
and
dude.
you know, and I've talked to a friend of mine who said it's a masterpiece, and I'm like, is it though? I tweeted this out, and I'm reading all these. I'm not playing the game. I have zero interest in playing the game, but from what I'm finding, it's that they are trying to. It's basically the caricature of all the SJW
Tropes.
believe
Right.
that real life is like, that men talk like what they say behind closed doors, and it's like they're shoving it down your throat and making it this whole thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want that. I don't want to hear what you think the world is like, because that's not what reality is like. That's what you want reality to be like, because that justifies the way you're acting.
How many people in this country are trans?
I don't know the statistic.
Do you know the number?
It's something like 0.004%.
It's like a really small number.
Yeah.
It might actually be higher than most people realize.
And
But-
honestly,
but-
that's fine. Be trans. Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't bother
That-
me.
that's
Doesn't
not the
change
issue.
my life.
The issue is that one of the reasons I think that we will come to a point where football is overtly SJW.
Okay.
Like we're already seeing now the guy like Colin Kaepernick is being floated again. They're going to bring him back for kneeling and Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. But The Last of Us 2 has a trans sex scene, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't speak to 99.98% of the population of this country.
Agreed.
I'm not saying I care.
Especially
I really
gamers.
don't. I honestly don't care. I think it's fine if they wanted to do it. That's their choice of a game.
Right.
And people really do like the game. Look, I was talking to some guy recently who said he really loved the game. And that's
Yeah.
fine. My point is not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
It's that it's certainly not catering to a mass market.
Right.
So what would happen then if this 0.02% of people said women should be in the NFL? What's going to stop them from forcing women to be in the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB and all that stuff?
Well, it's like this whole battle with, trans athletes. It's like it's basically taking women's achievements and just pooping all over them, basically. Like, nah, this person identifies as a
they're
woman,
winning.
so
They're winning.
I if I was a woman, I'd be upset about it.
Yeah, and guess what? When they burn down the businesses of a lot of these restaurants, what do those owners say? Well, I appreciate the movement, because they know if they speak up, they
They're
will come back.
next. Yep.
There's a woman right now who's working with the police because they looted her bakery, and they're sending her death threats now for working with the cops. They're saying, be a happy little victim and you take what you get, period. And they're winning. We thought it was going away with COVID, and now it's come back so intense.
back in force,
It's
man.
amazing how much they have gained with knocking down statues. Check this out. 3 guys apparently got arrested for vandalizing a Black Lives Matter mural of some sort.
Okay.
They got arrested.
Whoa.
How many people have torn down statues of founding fathers and nothing's happened?
That's crazy.
How many people got arrested for rioting in Fort Worth and were released and the rioting charges dropped? How many
insane.
people in New York were arrested during the protests for George Floyd and were released and all charges dropped? And how many people got tickets for trying to go to church? They are winning. They're taking it over.
Yeah,
and
they
they
are.
are going to force football to do this stuff too, and NASCAR and Major League Baseball, and it is going to be completely unrecognizable. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.